A global obsession. True crimes reign supreme. Podcasts, documentaries, books. True crime is everywhere. From the latest Netflix series to the top-charting podcasts, the genre has infiltrated every corner of media. Millions tune in to hear about real-life murders, mysteries, and mayhem. It's a global phenomenon. People are drawn to these stories, eager to uncover the details of each case. But why are we so captivated by these dark stories? What makes us return to them time and time again? What is it about true crime that draws us in and keeps us hooked? Is it the thrill of the unknown or the satisfaction of seeing justice served? The answer, it turns out, is complex. It's not just one thing, but a combination of factors that keep us glued to these stories. It's a mix of psychology, sociology, and maybe even a little bit of morbid curiosity. Our brains are wired to seek out and understand danger, even from the safety of our living rooms. Experts have been studying our fascination with true crime for years, and they've come up with some fascinating theories. They suggest that our interest may stem from a deep-seated need to understand the darker aspects of human nature. In this exploration of the human psyche's darker corners, we'll delve into the reasons behind our obsession with true crime. We'll look at how these stories tap into our primal fears and curiosities. From the comfort of our homes, we'll examine the minds of criminals and victims alike. We'll explore what drives someone to commit such heinous acts and how society responds to these crimes. Get ready for a wild ride through the psychology of fear, fascination, and the enduring allure of the macabre. We'll uncover the layers of intrigue that make true crime so compelling. But be warned, once you step into the world of true crime, you might never want to leave. The stories are gripping, the details are chilling, and the fascination is endless. One of the most basic explanations for our love of true crime is the thrill. It's an adrenaline rush that captivates us, drawing us into the narrative. We get a rush of adrenaline when we hear about something scary or dangerous. This reaction is deeply rooted in our biology, a remnant of our ancestors' survival instincts. This is the same reason why people enjoy horror movies or roller coasters. The controlled environment allows us to experience fear in a safe way, giving us a sense of exhilaration. Think about it. You're safe on your couch, listening to a podcast about a serial killer. The comfort of your home contrasts sharply with the terrifying story you're hearing. The story is terrifying, but you're not in any real danger. This juxtaposition heightens the thrill, making the experience even more engaging. This safe fear allows us to experience the excitement of danger without any of the actual risk. It's a psychological roller coaster that we willingly ride.
Dr. Michelle Ward, a forensic psychologist, explains, "True crime lets us experience fear and anxiety in a controlled environment. This controlled exposure helps us process our own fears. It's a way of confronting our fears without actually being in danger. By engaging with these stories, we can explore the darker aspects of human nature from a safe distance."
So, next time you're feeling brave, turn on that True Crime podcast. Let yourself be drawn into the mystery and suspense. Just be prepared to sleep with the lights on. The thrill of the unthinkable can linger long after the story ends, keeping you on edge in the best possible way. Another reason we're drawn to true crime is our desire to understand the darkness in the world. We want to know why people do bad things, what makes them tick. How can we protect ourselves and our loved ones? By learning about real-life crimes, we hope to gain insights into the criminal mind. This knowledge can make us feel more prepared, even if it's just a false sense of security.
True crime stories can also teach us about the criminal justice system. We learn about the different types of crimes, the evidence used to convict criminals, and the challenges of solving complex cases.
Many true crime fans enjoy playing armchair detective, immersing themselves in the details. We listen to the evidence carefully and try to solve the case along with the investigators step by step. It's a mental workout, a challenge to our powers of deduction and reasoning. True crime podcasts and documentaries often present evidence in a way that allows listeners to draw their own conclusions, making it interactive.
We hear witness testimonies, analyze forensic evidence, and try to piece together timelines. This interactive element can be incredibly engaging, We feel like we're part of the investigation, using our own logic and intuition to crack the case.
Section 5, Morality, play good versus evil.
True crime stories often tap into our innate sense of morality. We root for the victims, hoping for justice to be served. We condemn the perpetrators, feeling anger and disgust at their actions. These stories remind us of the battle between good and evil that exists in the world. They reinforce our own moral compass and make us feel grateful for the good in our own lives. As author and journalist David Gran puts it, true crime, at its best, is about the struggle for justice. It's about holding people accountable for their actions and giving a voice to the voiceless.
Section 6, It Could Have Been Me, relatability and escape.
While the crimes themselves might be extraordinary, the victims and perpetrators are often ordinary people. This relatability can be unsettling, but it's also part of what makes true crime so compelling. We hear stories about people who were going about their daily lives when something terrible happened. It makes us realize that we're not immune to the dangers of the world. This realization can be scary, but it can also be a wake-up call to appreciate the fragility of life.
On the flip side, true crime can also offer a form of escape. We get to step into someone else's life, even if it's a life filled with tragedy and chaos. It's a way to distract ourselves from our own problems and experience a different reality. Section 7. Curiosity killed the cat, but satisfaction brought it back. Let's be honest, we all have a bit of a morbid curiosity. We're fascinated by the things that scare us, the things we don't understand. True crime allows us to indulge this curiosity in a socially acceptable way.
We want to know the details of the crimes, even if they're gruesome. We want to understand the motivations of the criminals, even if they're twisted. This thirst for knowledge can be hard to quench, and it keeps us coming back for more.
As Dr. Scott Bond, a criminologist and author, explains, our fascination with true crime is a natural extension of our curiosity about the darker aspects of human nature. We want to know what makes people tick, even when it's something disturbing. Section 8. Social connection, shared fascination. True crime has become a cultural phenomenon, sparking countless conversations and debates. We discuss cases with friends, family, and even strangers online. This shared fascination creates a sense of community.
True crime podcasts often have dedicated fan communities where listeners can connect with each other. They share theories, debate evidence, and even attend live shows together. This social aspect of true crime should not be underestimated. It allows us to connect with others who share our interests, even if those interests are a bit dark. It's a way to bond over shared experiences and find common ground in unexpected places.
Section 9. The shadow self, exploring our darker impulses. Carl Jung, a famous psychologist, talked about the shadow self. This is the hidden part of our personality, the part that holds our darkest thoughts and impulses. According to Jung, we're all capable of great evil, but we repress these urges because they're socially unacceptable.
True crime allows us to explore our shadow selves in a safe way. By listening to stories about real-life criminals, we can confront the darkness that exists within all of us. We can ask ourselves, am I capable of doing something like that? This self-reflection can be uncomfortable, but it can also be a valuable exercise in self-awareness. It reminds us that we're all human, capable of both good and evil.
Section 10. True crime's impact, awareness, advocacy, and entertainment. Our fascination with true crime isn't just about morbid curiosity. It delves deeper into the human psyche, exploring our innate desire to understand the darker aspects of human nature. It can also have a positive impact on society. By bringing these stories to light, we can foster a more informed and vigilant community. True crime stories can raise awareness about important issues, advocate for victims' rights, and even lead to changes in the criminal justice system. These narratives often highlight the flaws and gaps in our legal processes, prompting necessary reforms.
For example, the podcast serial brought national attention to the case of Adnan Syed, who was convicted of murder in 1999. This case, which might have otherwise been forgotten, was thrust into the spotlight. The podcast raised serious questions about the evidence used to convict Syed, and it ultimately led to his release from prison in 2022. This is a testament to the power of media in seeking justice and truth.
True crime can also give a voice to victims of crime who might not otherwise have one. It ensures that their stories are heard and remembered, providing a platform for their experiences. It can shine a light on injustices within the legal system and inspire people to take action. By exposing these issues, true crime stories can mobilize communities to demand change and support reforms. Ultimately, our fascination with true crime is a complex phenomenon with a wide range of psychological and social factors at play. It taps into our curiosity, our sense of justice, and our desire to understand the human condition. It's a reminder of the darkness that exists in the world, but it can also be a source of entertainment, education, and even inspiration. These stories can teach us about resilience, the importance of justice, and the need for vigilance. So the next time you find yourself glued to a true crime podcast or documentary, don't be afraid to embrace your inner detective. Just remember to keep the lights on. Dive deep, but stay aware of the broader implications and the real lives affected by these stories.